What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to the week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, the most positive man in Ireland, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how's it going?
Why'd you have to preface it like that? Because that sets the expectation that I can never be miserable, Conor. And I'm often miserable.
You are notoriously always miserable.
So, I don't know what you expect from me here, but I'm a sleepy boy today, is all I want to say.
I knew. Also, we do have to come clean with everyone here, Shaun, is that we decided to start recording half an hour before this, but
True.
We have been fucking around with settings and not being able to get things right for up to a half an hour, which is half an hour more than I'm comfortable with doing work.
I'm going to be honest, Conor, I'm still fucking around with settings a little bit, but I wasn't going to tell you. Google Meet threw me down to 93 on the external microphone. Listeners, you just heard that get turned back up in real time. So here, we're just going to roll with this, and it's going to be great.
Just hope it works.
Just hope it works. We've been doing this for 4 years.
4 years? You think we'd be good at it? It's actually our anniversary month. But for some reason, technology has turned on us. Obviously, it was all those times I said technology is shit, and I'm going back to the candle age.
That's true. I mean, look, I like candles, but I'm not ready to
I'm a big man
devote
for
a
a
whole age
Yankee.
to them. But also, just speaking of the 4 years thing, just again, for patrons that might not have heard or anything like that, we are doing a little bit of a hangout on the 22nd. If anyone would like to kind of attend or take part, we're just going to be shooting the shit. Might talk about like ranking Marvel movies or something like that. So if you want to join that, you can also head over to the Patreon and get a membership, help support the show. You get movie reviews and all that kind of stuff as well, and you'll get to come to the little 4th birthday party for the Heroes for Hire podcast.
It's just going to be us in the Google Meet, hopefully with our audio settings perfect, and then just talking shit.
That would be absolutely hilarious if the audio fucked up like during that.
That would be the perfect time. But Shaun, we've got a lot of news this week. We've got a lot to talk to, and hopefully it all holds steady, because I want to get through a few things.
Okay.
And we're starting this week. We've 3 trailers this week to talk about. One of them I've just thrown in really for my own amusement, but the other 2, they're pretty big ones, because we had our first trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I was going to say Bros Brother movie, but that's... You don't need to say the second brother.
No.
Super Mario
Bros. You're right, Conor, that's
trailer.
how words work.
With Chris Pratt, Charlie Day as Mario and Luigi. We had our first trailer for this movie, Shaun, that everyone was said, Chris Pratt's not doing his own voice, right? He's changed it up. He's just grown as an actor. And it's going to be something unique. So Shaun, you've seen the trailer. I know you like Mario. What's the story?
Sounds exactly like Chris Pratt, really, doesn't he? Just like it. Okay. First of all, in terms of actors in this, I just want to say shout out to Jack Black on this one, because his Bowser voice sounds incredible.
Amazing. Every single part of this trailer, I just want to come in, was amazing until I had to hear Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt being Mario is the weakest part of this trailer, and I assume going forward the movie,
because just even the first shot with Bowser and like the animation is amazing. I know this movie isn't for us, but I was watching the trailer, like, the fucking animation on this is out of this world good. Like, better than it has any right to be for this movie. And then it was like, fuck, this looks really cool. Oh man. And then there's some funny bits. And then there's some Bowser being a fucking badass. And then you're like, oh shit, kids could really get into this. This could be a really good movie. And then as I'm sitting there, I hear Chris Pratt's weird, half Italian, I don't know if I should be offended for the Italian voice.
It sounds like someone on TikTok pointed out he sounds like Linda from Bob's Burgers in a lot of ways.
Apparently someone dubbed what he was saying just with Linda's mouth moving, and it looks the fucking exact same.
It's the fact that he went and he talked so much about how he was working on the voice and he was developing it, and it was going to be like nothing you've ever heard before. And it's just this, it's like, it's so much worse than the existing Mario voice that we have. You know, because Mario has a voice actor and he's had one for decades at this point. And to just get like middle of the road Chris Pratt semi-Italian accent, It's just very strange. Also, it seems like, lore-wise, it seems like it's Mario's first time in the Mushroom Kingdom in this movie.
I don't want to get into the lore, Sean. I don't know the ins and outs of it all.
No, that's fair.
But what I would say is that it's... I don't want to go on a limb, but I would say that maybe, perhaps, perchance, you hire a voice actor to play an animated character. Do you know what changed all that was Shrek? Because Shrek was massive and they were like, wait, we get big stars.
But Shrek was 1 in a million because that was the first time it was done. So all of the big stars put a lot of effort into the voice acting. Whereas now it's just like big stars, maybe some of them feel they can just kind of coast. Just be like, I just have a good voice. And then they roll with that.
And there's nothing wrong with being a really good actor in like live action. And then there's also people who are just literally trained for voice acting and animation. And they're just like perfectly honed their skills to that one thing. And they're like, maybe you should hire one of them to do a Mario voice. I just said, the guy who has done Mario for like 30 years.
That's the thing. And like Chris Pratt is also cast as Garfield in an upcoming Garfield movie.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
Know.
But it's going to be the exact same voice as this. Just maybe slightly less Italian, but he'll still love lasagna.
And then you watch like those YouTube videos of like all the people like flipping between all their character actors and they all sound completely different. Like all the animation accents they do. And Chris Pratt's just rocking like, all right lads, what are we doing? Garfield or Mario today? What are we doing today, lads? They're the same voice.
Dealer's choice? That's fine. I'll just do it on the fly. I'll make it up.
I think there was a whole big thing on Twitter over the weekend was that Jack Black could replace Chris Pratt in every single one of his movies and it would be the same movie.
I saw another tweet and it was like, this is just a segment of I saw a tweet.
Yeah, that's good.
But it was like, please start hiring voice actors to do character roles in animated movies. Stop giving it to just big name actors, except Jack Black. Let Jack Black do whatever he wants.
Jack Black, and there was a pitch that was made, was Jack Black and Matt Berry
oh man,
as brothers in a movie.
That is the team up I need. Matt Berry actually went and performed with the Gorillaz over the weekend. Yeah, Matt Berry has a storied musical career as well.
What a lunatic of a man.
He has a whole album of him singing old TV theme tunes. I'm obsessed with Matt Berry. I love him.
It's the most Matt Berry story. If anyone doesn't know who we're talking about, do you remember the IT Crowd, the show? Do you remember Father? That guy.
Yeah, but I think that's a dated reference. It's What We Do in the Shadows now. That's what he's most known for.
True, actually, yeah. Yeah.
That's his new. He's been introduced to a whole new audience, but I've been here from the beginning.
So in terms of the trailer itself, Sean, haven't seen it, are you more excited for our very first good video game movie?
I don't care about this though. I don't think this movie should be made. Leave it. Who cares? It's gonna be mid. That's it. I said it.
You're down with the kids.
I'm down with the kids. It's gonna be a mid movie. No cap, fam.
I think it might be pretty good. I think Chris Pratt's obviously the weakest link. Charlie Day is cool. I'm chill with him.
I'll watch him in anything.
Yeah, Luigi's not as big a deal. Like, it doesn't have a specific act.
But I feel like Charlie Day would have more energy in the role. And he would actually be moving around and putting his energy and excitement into it. But I feel like Chris Pratt recorded all of his lines on a couch. Or do you watch videos of people dubbing over Dragon Ball Z and stuff? Yeah. But it was early 2010s, and so they try and scream into a microphone, but they just kind of they strain their voice instead of screaming out loud. That's what they're that's the level of voice acting I'm getting from Chris Pratt.
I genuinely watching this. I probably didn't have any interest, and then even just the first bit with Bowser, all that introduction scene and the animation was so good that I was kind of fuck, you know what? I might watch this. This is looking pretty good.
I would rather watch that stuff as cutscenes in a Mario game, though, rather than a movie.
Yeah, that actually does make more sense. But there's so many Mario games. Just pick a Mario game.
Give me a new Mario game. It's been 5 years since the last one.
And give Jack Black all of the roles. Let Jack Black do everything.
Yeah, and don't make School of Rock 2. I love School of Rock 1 too much.
That's interesting because you know what's so weird is we've had so many sequels to movies that like nobody cares about. But School of Rock, I would say notoriously is like universally said, that's Jack Black. That movie was made for Jack Black, and he's the only person that could do that role. And that's like a really good, it's a pretty good Sunday afternoon movie to have that on.
Connor, that's an any time of the day movie. There was legitimately a week where I watched Monday to Friday. I watched that movie, and then on Saturday and Sunday I watched the kids' commentary first, and then the director's commentary.
And what was
Jack
the difference? Well, which was better?
I really like the Jack Black commentary. They really go into detail on how cool things were, and then I like all of the commentaries. The kids are fun. It's fun to see their take on the filming experience. By the
way, Shaun, I just want to let you know. Do you know what movie I watched this morning?
What you watched this morning, Connor?
I watched this morning Paddington 2. Start to finish.
Great film. Lovely way to start your Sunday, Connor.
Oh, lads, just to get up and running for the day, like, you know what I mean?
A bit of positivity in your life, you know.
Positivity, and a little bit of a tear at the end. Oh lads.
His aunt comes back from Peru.
If you haven't seen Paddington 2, just go watch Paddington 2. Maybe watch Paddington 1 and then watch Paddington 2.
They're both excellent. Do you know what I watched last night? I watched Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton film Sleepy Hollow.
Better or worse than Paddington 2?
It's different.
Different vibes.
But it's a story about there's a headless horseman, and then there's this new detective, and he's like, we should use science. And then it's like, but it's a headless horseman, though.
Just like, look at him, just grabbing him by his both shoulders. Lad, he's fucking headless. What are we going to do with DNA?
But it's a very good film. I would recommend it.
Right, okay. Shaun, we're moving on from Super Mario, the trailer that are we giving it a yay or a nay on the trailer?
Look, I'll give it a yay because I want to see that Jack Black Bowser. I want more of that. Give me
pretty good.
If you could Mario out of this film and just give me like Luigi fighting that Bowser, I'd be happy out.
That'd be great. We're moving on, Shaun, from Super Mario to Superman.
Fuck you.
I felt sick doing it, to be honest. I did feel a bit weird.
Yeah.
But it was
We're not that kind of show, Connor.
It was halfway through, and I went, fuck, I better go for it now. Gotta commit if you're going to do it.
It's like doing a backflip. You have to go all the way, otherwise you'll hurt yourself.
I'll break my neck. I don't care. I just want to be cool. Shaun, Superman. There's been a lot of problems with the Superman role in regards to DC and what they were going to do. But recently, a lot of news has been popping up, a lot of rumours and theories that maybe Superman will be appearing in Black Adam with The Rock. Now,
they're really desperate for people to go see Black Adam, aren't they?
Yeah. And so they're fully in on, like, he could be in this, you know, he could be in this.
He might be. We're not confirming or denying.
But along with that, I have rumours, Shaun, that perhaps his appearance in Black Adam won't be his only appearance, because Henry Cavill's Superman sequel reportedly now in development at DC.
Jesus Christ. Did you ever think you would see the day that we will get a sequel to Man of Steel from 2008?
No, Man of Steel is in 2008.
It is, isn't it?
2013.
What am I thinking? What was the
You're thinking Superman Returns, which is 06.
Yes, similar numbers, I think you'll agree.
Similar. They are all numbers.
Yeah, so, sorry, Man of Steel then, of course, correct. Excuse me.
With Zack Snyder in 2013, before Justice League. Do you not remember? It was a great time. We were all.
But does that mean that everything that happened to that Superman? But that Superman had very different telling. So it's the theatrical cut, not the Snyder cut, that we have to pay attention to for this second Superman film that comes after everything. But it's a different Batman. Yeah. The Flash is probably recast at that point.
No, I've heard this week, this isn't in the news, but Ezra Miller was back filming reshoots for The Flash to get the finalised cut of the movie this week. And they apologised to everyone, and then everyone was like, alright, cool.
Right, okay. But maybe there's a post-credit scene where like a young kid shows up and he's like, I'm Wally West.
I'm way faster.
I'm way faster and better and cooler and more down to earth. And I'm like reliable old actor, and then just get like,
I haven't done anything bad to anyone,
and I never will.
So I mean, the news now we have, as the rumours are suggesting, is that maybe Henry Cavill could be coming back for a Man of Steel 2. Now, look, once again, massive grain of salt. Probably not going to happen. But I think they're going off the Black Adam hype to be like, reportedly, Henry Cavill could be coming back.
Yeah, but the way the rumour mill works is that, like, they hear, oh, Superman could be back, and then it's like, oh, Henry Cavill could be back. But, like, Superman technically appeared in Shazam, but it was just, like, chest down, excuse me.
Yeah.
That we saw of him. So I wouldn't put him, like, I don't think they can get away with that twice. I think people would riot.
I think we get lower and lower towards his balls.
Like, he shows up then in, like,
shot.
Justice League 2, and it's just a full ball shot of Superman.
And the kids are like, wow, he's here. Wait, he's got a weird vibe.
Oh, wait, I don't like this Superman anymore.
When asked to give a bit more detail as to why we think, for now, after all these years, Cavill could be coming back, Shaun, apparently it has something to do with The Rock. Dwayne used his charisma, and in his own words, this is in part of the report, Dwayne apparently went hard. He went full court press on Warner Brothers and made them go to Henry Cavill specifically, stating that a new deal with Henry Cavill would be perfect, and he was gonna. That was like one of his main things. And so, if they made a deal with Cavill, it was going to include a new Superman movie.
I mean, that's significant. It's a terrible reflection of the company that, like, the actor in your next big property has to be like, hey, here's what you should do, and you should listen to me. And then that's the only way that they talk to the guy who plays Superman. Yeah,
like, they could have just talked to him previously for, like, the other 5 years, but they were like, no, I'm not going to talk to him. And then Rock comes in and is like, guys, maybe we should talk to Superman. They were like, oh, Rock.
But, like, if the rumours are to be believed, like, Henry Cavill is, like, he's showing up as, like, Hyperion in the MCU. Like, again, massive grain of salt with everything, but, like,
I think they just want Henry Cavill locked into something because
do you think
so
Henry
good.
would go back to them after everything?
I think that was my main question, because, like, even if Dwayne was like The Rock is like, I want you in the movie, and I mean, I would say if I was Cavill, I'm like, I'll just do that movie and then I'm out. But they probably don't want them to do one, because they're like, well, we either move on or we don't. Like, you're either in the movie and we have you, or you pick someone else.
Like, that whole universe, and I've said this before, I think it's so damaged at this point that you just have to start again. And
you think Henry Cavill would he be interested? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he... Now, look, and I don't know the man, I can't speak for him, but from what I've heard and read about the way things were managed, I think he was fairly fucking burned by the studio at the end of it. And he loves Superman as well. Big old nerd.
And also, he was born to play Superman.
Yeah, he's the image. Like, he's so good. I adore him.
The only issue is they just made him so sad, like, so sad.
And then they made him, like,
dead,
weird and distant, and all the rest of it.
Then he was dead for a little bit. Then he came back, and then he was sad again.
It's very strange, and, like, he needs, like, at the end of the Batman, where the Batman inspires hope for the people of Gotham. Superman should be doing that from day one. Yeah, you know what's so weird is, like, the Batman they have now is, like, perfectly, like, filling up with hope with kids, and all the kids are like, we fucking hate Superman. What a dickhead. It's really strange how that's the flip that they've made. Because that was, like, the one locked in thing. We're like, look, there's no need to change that. Superman should be a force of good. Batman, people are a bit iffy on, but he's also a good guy. But let's change it up. This Superman, everyone hates him, thinks he's a fucking dickhead. But if, in terms of the future then of DC, it looks like they would continue with Aquaman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, Henry Cavill Superman, Michael Keaton Batman, Batgirl. No, Keaton's gone now. Is he though? He's still in the Flash. Oh, he's still in the Flash. Yeah, no, you're right, but he's not in the Batgirl film. So no, because that film doesn't exist. But I think he's in the Flash as, like, Flash meets him in a different universe, and that's fine. No, yeah, that's a thing. But Well, yeah, I guess if Batgirl isn't a thing, he's not coming back to the main universe then. But then what do you do about Batman? Because I don't think Batfleck is coming back.
Well, he's not coming back to this universe anyway.
No.
Or, sorry, not Batfleck. I thought you were talking about Robert Pattinson. Pattinson's not coming back to this universe.
No, he's not showing up in that Flash movie for love or money.
You know what? They might get Batfleck back. But, like, at what cost? What's the point at this stage?
They just need to do... You know what they need to do? Is they need to scrap... If they want to keep Henry Cavill, they can. But just, like, do The Flash, do Black Adam, and then say, we're scrapping everything. And then you make Superman Rebirth, and you just start again, and you do it right.
I mean, that would make too much sense. It's like a sports team, like having a team that's mildly okay, and then they go a few years, they're like, we're going to bring them all back, but they're all 6 years older and less interested, and we're going to make sure we kill it this time. Yeah.
Oh, we're really going to double down on how cool they are.
Bigger contracts. They're all even fresher than they were 6 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm pretty burned on Marvel at this point. Like Marvel, and I'm the Marvel guy.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty burned on Marvel at this point. I'm even more burned on DC. Just being like, why am I giving so much time towards watching?
I think we're slowly coming to the end of the superheroes. I'm probably thinking of like maybe 20, 25, 26. Maybe fully.
I genuinely, like, after Secret Wars, I might take a bit of a break.
Interesting,
from keeping up with everything, you know. I'll pick and choose. Funny
is, like, the Batman is like, I see that as outsider. I'm like,
oh, it is. It's absolutely
perfect. Don't change that. Matt Reeves, keep doing shit.
Yeah, the Batman, things like The Boys as well, like that kind of stuff. Something different, and not just the same. Not even that everything is cookie cutter and the same, but it's stuff with like actual passion and drive behind it is really nice to see.
You don't really feel much passion in terms of the DCEU, like with any of those movies.
And I can't blame anyone that works on them, because if the studio runs it that way, where's the motivation for you?
They're fully picking the movies or doing things based off service.
Yeah,
and so like
exactly.
You're just kind of, to people who work there, they're just doing what they're told. Like, it's just like, okay, well, we want this movie because the survey told us that people are now interested in this movie. People love Ezra. You know what I mean? They want them back.
And look, if there's one thing to come out of all of this, is that, like, I have been getting more into comics again. Just because here's all these characters and the stories are actually, like, generally well written and pretty good.
I've always told the story of how I got into comic books. Was like, I was obsessed with Batman the animated series, and then I watched all of them, and then I watched all of The Batman, which is the mid-2000s animated show, and then I was like, oh man, I love Nightwing, but he's not in a lot of those episodes. Oh, where could I find episodes with Nightwing? And I was like, wait, there's like 70 years of
there's so much Nightwing.
Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and it's a new horror movie based off a video game, and I think that's always locked in as perfect. I think you're perfectly set up for a brilliant movie.
Your Silent Hills, your Resident Evils, and the rest.
Well, how about this? Five Nights at Freddy's movie, officially greenlit at Blumhouse.
This has been going around a while, though, like, since Five Nights at Freddy's was a thing. Like, I remember the film rights being sold and that being a huge thing.
It's been in development for quite a while, but finally, I think Blumhouse has officially announced the film is heading into production.
See, the thing about it is that we have said on this show about horror movies is that we don't like jump scare horrors.
And that's what Five Nights at Freddy's is.
That's what the entire game is. It's a game full of jump scares. And it's a game where most of the enjoyment comes from watching Markiplier play it on YouTube, basically, and jump around and scream and be loud and funny. Yeah. So I don't know how you translate that.
If you could explain the plot of Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game, to people
so
maybe not
you
know.
are a night watchman in a Chuck E. Cheese style kids pizzeria.
Yeah.
You're a new night watchman and you're meant to watch over the animatronics, watch over the building at night. You check your cameras, you have limited battery, and you can close doors. That's basically it. But then things start moving and the animatronics start coming to life, and You discover through the lore that there was an incident where a kid got bit by one of the animatronics, and now its spirit possesses maybe a puppet that's on the wall. And then there was also a killer called the Purple Man, right?
Okay,
and what he did...
Shot.
Sorry.
Fine.
He stuffed a bunch of kids into the suits and now they're haunted and they're chasing you. I went so deep on lore about this fucking game.
I can tell.
It's all still up there. I don't know how to drive.
I don't have emotional connections with people, but they stuffed a bunch of kids in that, lad.
He stuffed them all in, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's like 17 games. There's so many games, and he just keeps making them as well. It's terrible, man. I hate it. I don't want to watch this movie. Actually, they should do it like a Blair Witch style thing.
You start, by the way, like, yeah, that's fair enough. And then you're like, I fucking hate this movie.
Because I just remembered how, because it's this really complicated lore, and he keeps throwing in extra little bits that mean nothing and contradict other things. So you're trying. Yeah. I gave up in like 2016. I finished with all this, but it's all still up there. But they should do this like a Blair Witch style thing, and like people discover this haunted pizzeria. And it's not jump scary, it comes from tension, like looking around corners and, like kind of like a Blair Witchy Cloverfield kind of thing.
You're thinking of found footage.
I'm thinking what?
Found footage.
Found footage, yeah. Yeah, I think that would work. Or they're like, okay. So they're investigating the event that happened with the man who murdered all the children. And so you get all that. By the way,
at the start of the movie, I want you doing like a news report on it. Like, just like you on the TV. They're going, jeez, that's terrible. Oh my God.
But I explained it like I explained it earlier. Like, there's this fucking purple dude.
Lads, you won't even fucking believe me. This is a fucking head wreck. Lads. I mean, horror movies notoriously can be good or terrible. It's kind of up in the air. Jump scare even more so has a pretty poor track record, but video game horror movies, I would say, are they're an even tougher prospect, because video game movies in general, very hard to pull off.
Very hard to pull off.
Horror movies also very hard to pull off. Put the two of them together, Jesus Christ, if this is anyway decent.
Yeah, like if your game is like, if 90% of it is like now like pop culture merchandise, like Funko Pops and plushies at GameStop, I don't think you should then base a film off that, if you get me. Yeah. Just let it be its own thing. It's already enough. You stop beating the dead horse.
So we're going to move on, Shaun, to our next piece of news, and to another fucking dead horse.
Oh, dude.
Marvel.
Vice.
Topical. Roasted them. But Blade, Shaun, we discussed last week that Blade was having a difficult time. The director left a month before production was set to begin.
90-page script was apparently terrible.
The script was terrible. It was 90 pages long, and Mahershala Ali was like, this is shit. I don't want to be in this movie. I don't want to be Blade. So they're scrambling looking for a director. But as reported by The Direct, several insiders have claimed that the filming start date for Marvel Studios has been pushed back, Shaun, from November of this year, next month, to 2023. Which is February 2023. So they've pushed it back 4 months to try and find a director.
Okay. I'm not mad about that, because there's that quote, I think it's Miyamoto said it. It was like about games. It's like a delayed game is good eventually, but a rushed game is bad forever. So apply the same thing to a film, because I think they can't fuck up Blade, surely.
Oh, they will. But but maybe they won't. But I mean, the first initial reactions are not positive, but everyone involved is really talented. And so I'm kind of like, they might pull it out though. Like, they could.
They just need to get an ace writer on, like get an ace director on, and like hire and pay good people, basically, is what I'm saying here.
I think I'm going to stick until they cast someone. I'm saying Jordan Peele should be given a bucket load of money and just be like, we'll literally give you a blank check, just do the Blade movie. and write it as well.
Yeah, no, that would work for me. Like, I would love that. It's weird because, like, Blade is one where, like, we have an example of what a Blade movie can be like, and that movie's pretty good, to be fair. Like, even just the first one, taken in a bottle, pretty good.
We've gone back and reviewed that on the Patreon, where like, we review like old superhero movies, and I mean, it still holds up. Like, it's still, like, there are some moments where you're like, okay, some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill. But
best line in cinema.
But at the same time, and like weird CGI, like monster near the end. But like, there's so much of that movie that's so good, and even like the nightclub scene at the start is like so iconic in terms of an introduction to a hero of like, oh shit, he's a fucking badass.
It's another level. Like, I think this, like, it needs to be. I think it needs to be nearly completely different to. Like, in a world where, you know, Eternals have a giant hand sticking out of the ocean, and like Captain Marvel is zooming around, and the Hulk and She-Hulk are doing their thing, I think Blade needs to have an entirely different tone and an entirely different look to kind of match with that.
Do people know or they don't know about vampires in this movie? What way would you run it?
I think it's going to be the general public doesn't know. But there's this, you know, underground vampire hunter thing. They've always been doing it for centuries, and it's always just under the surface.
Could also do it. Yeah, I was going to say the other way of, like, the vampire just gets released, like it's a laboratory experiment that goes wrong and starts biting people. But then how does Blade exist? Because the idea his mother gets bitten while she's pregnant, and then that's when she gives birth to him. So yeah,
Marvel do this stuff. Marvel do seed ideas as well. Like in Loki, Morpheus says something about like, oh, we caught a vampire once or something like that. Yeah. So like vampires do exist in universe. They're not super public, it seems.
Yeah, I suppose that's the way you do it. Unless you give them like a weird like section of New York. It's like, this is the only area vampires are in. Go bad.
Yeah, but like vampires aren't common, not like for everything that's common knowledge in like the comics in Marvel. I don't believe vampires are up there. Like, they're generally as a villain, like in horror, like they're generally quite reserved in terms of notoriety.
Yeah,
I would say, or not even like public knowledge. Like, vampires are generally ostentatious and things like that, but they don't broadcast the fact that they're vampires.
Isn't it weird that like the idea like there's a hand coming out of the ocean, Captain Marvel's flying about the place, but vampire still feels like, oh, you'd still be shocked to learn about that though. Like, you see superheroes, but it's like, oh, there's vampires. Oh fuck, oh lads, we're in trouble.
And I think we'll probably get some of that from Kit Harington's character, the Black Knight, because he in Eternals was just like, yeah, but like Doctor Strange is a wizard, so like anything's possible. I'll believe anything.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on. We'll probably come back to Blade at a certain point when we learn a bit more, but for now, they've pushed it back due to the fact that the book report's due in about 3 weeks and they don't actually have a book. So they're just trying to figure it out. The guys are trying to figure it out. It's going to fuck up the schedule later on, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
Shaun, we move on now to a trailer that I have wanted to talk to you about since I seen it during the week. And a lot of people who've listened to the show for many months might remember that we covered a movie called Moonfall. And we were on that Moonfall hype train for many months previous. Like, very first trailer. Sometimes a trailer takes my fancy, Shaun, and I just think this movie looks so ridiculous that Shaun also needs to see it because I've seen it. And so then I turned it into this. So
you put it on the show, so I have to watch it.
Exactly. Because if I just text you like, oh, watch it, you'll wait a period of time of the video and then just write back, lol.
Oh, you'd get a thumbs up emoji for that one, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to turn it into work. But Shaun, we are going to be covering the trailer that everyone's talking about. I'm sure everyone listening to this has seen it multiple times. Shotgun Wedding, featuring Jennifer Aniston and Josh Duhamel.
I mean, Jennifer Aniston is absolutely not in this movie.
Jennifer Lopez, I apologise. J-Lo's in it, not Jennifer Aniston. J-Lo. And Josh Duhamel. As, I mean, if you haven't seen this trailer, what I want you to do before we get into this, I want you to pause it, go to YouTube, search Shotgun Wedding trailer, and then just watch that.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you a few seconds. Pause it here now. Okay. So we've all come back, and we're all aware.
I got a snack.
You never left. But, Shaun, when you watched this trailer, I really wanted a second by second review. Shaun, how did you feel about Shotgun Wedding?
At the very start, I was like, why is Connor making me watch this? This looks like every romantic comedy ever. Then I was like, oh, Jennifer Coolidge is in this. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And then it turned, and then I was like, this seems like tired comedy. And then it turns, and then the wedding is attacked by like modern day pirates. And it just turns into like a The Other Guys style action movie.
It's genuinely, it might be the most strange trailer I've seen in about 5 years. It's certain, it doesn't know what it is. It's everything and it's everything at once.
Well, would you like to hear a little tidbit or a little fact about this movie, Connor?
Go for it.
So, the lad who's playing the husband in this...
Yeah, I do know this tidbit, but please tell everyone else.
Yeah, it's so he is meant to be the son of Jennifer Coolidge. And everyone's like, she's not old enough for him to be his son.
Yeah.
Is because up until about a week before filming, that man was meant to be played by Armie Hammer.
And Armie then was eating people, so that's...
Actual cannibal Armie Hammer, yes.
I mean, at the time, he was Hollywood's sweetheart, Armie Hammer. Then
he was the next big thing. Like,
he's eating people. That seems a bit sus. Like, I'm still into him, but it's a bit fucking iffy.
Are you into Armie Hammer in a big way?
No.
No?
Although apparently people are into Dabber after like that thing on Netflix.
Oh man. I have no interest in watching that. That seems really unpleasant to me.
I don't want my evenings to be watching that. Why would I?
Some people love it. Also, apparently they didn't consult any of the families that were involved in any of the Dahmer murders.
Good, lads.
That's a shit. That's a bad move. Come on, lads.
So, I mean, look. Originally, this was actually meant to set Ryan Reynolds was originally meant to be in it. Then they changed it to Armie Hammer, and then a week before production, Hammer pulls out. Reynolds is busy, and so they're like, right, who else have we got? And so Josh Duhamel comes in, and he's now the main man. What this trailer really said to me was, at the start, it's like every rom-com, as you said. Mm-hmm. And then it's like comedy rom-com. Then the ex-boyfriend shows up and you're thinking, could be some trouble in
Here's the
paradise.
Antagonist. Here's the threat of the film.
Here's the threat of the film. But I mean, it's not much of a threat, but still, it's a threat of some sort. But then what happens is it's like the movie took a whole bunch of cocaine in the middle of the trailer. And then pirates show up, and then there's a scene where Jennifer Coolidge is like firing a machine gun.
Firing an AK at him. I think what happened is that an intern was like, he was carrying 2 scripts up the stairs, right? And he tripped, and he hastily shuffled them all back together.
They won't notice.
They won't notice. They'll never pick up on this. And then they were like, this is a really interesting take on a rom-com. And he's just standing there sweating the whole time.
This genuinely is a movie that I kind of want to watch because it looks fucking atrocious. It's one
trashy,
of those,
but fun, it seems.
It's one of those, though, like I just said, like it's The Other Guys or like Naked Gun. I was getting like vibes from
a bit of that. It's very like, and it's actually the same makers of The Proposal, if you ever saw that with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock.
But I would then say, do you think it's aware that it's also that, or is it like, I don't know. I couldn't understand the vibe. Is it aware of what it is, or is it like going hard at a certain thing and everyone's just kind of giggling at?
I don't think it's. I think the directors know exactly what it is. Like, I don't think any of this is. I'm trying to think of an example of how this could be done badly. I don't think it's like a grown-ups style comedy. Like that kind of Adam Sandler and his friends stuff, which has its place and things like that. But it's closer to, it seems to me closer to like The Other Guys or like even the Legally Blonde kind of comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Where there's things happening and then it's a bit larger than life, but it's still kind of grounded in reality.
Yeah, actually, The Other Guys is a great show. I think this is what, if The Other Guys were in a movie where they got attacked by pirates, this is what would happen.
Yeah, and like it's going to be funny because, you know, if that were to happen in real life, that would be horrifying and terrible.
Did you see this shot of them all singing? Everyone at the wedding singing.
It's very strange. I don't know, is that before or after the pirate attack?
I don't understand. And then the end of it is Jennifer Lopez with like a shotgun just firing it into the air.
I mean, it's batshit insane. Is this the new Moonfall for the podcast then?
I really hope it is. The problem is Moonfall was so terrible, like such an atrocious idea.
Yeah.
And like we will keep up with Roland Emmerich or whatever he's doing next because it's definitely going to be shit. Yeah, because it's shit. He's absolutely, he's robbing a living, that man. But we got to keep up with him because, I mean, at the same time, that my favourite bit about Moonfall, if anyone hasn't seen it, it's the movie where the moon falls to Earth. Now, I know what you're thinking. How does that happen? Shut up. That's why, right? But halfway through, the moon falls, right? Starts falling. And the Earth gets flooded. And there's a moment in the movie where our two main characters are in a hotel room and the flooding is like rising outside and like everything in the city is destroyed and they decide to go for a nap.
When you gotta sleep, my friend. You can't.
Oh, I'm sleepy.
You can't make the moon rise on an empty brain. No, I did my best
on an
there.
empty sleep schedule. I just thought that scene. I think of that scene at least once a week. And I start giggling to myself. Just like, they're outside and the whole fucking city's just in flames and everything's just on fire but simultaneously flooded. And they're just like out the window like, fucking hell, look, we'll have a fucking nap.
Time for a bit of shut-eye, methinks.
Anyone counting sheep? Because I'm about to go sleeps.
The Shotgun Wedding is actually coming to Prime as well, so it's going to be very easy to watch.
27th of January.
27th of January. Fucking new year, new movie.
Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news. And this is just a really small thing that I noticed. Did you know the Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion, is coming to theatres for 1 week?
Yeah, because it needs to go in for an awards nomination. It has to be in a theatre.
Ah, right. I was wondering what the deal with that was.
Yeah.
Because Netflix paid so much money for that. Also, it's a weird dystopian future that, like, the first movie made, like, quite a bit of fucking money in, like, a whole series of movies that haven't made a lot of money since. And they're like, we'll just put it on streaming. It'll be fine.
Yeah. It's that's the thing, but I like with the awards stuff, Netflix also did it with like Power of the Dog and stuff like that last year. It has to screen in like a certified theatre.
Right.
And that's how you get it in for awards contention.
So it's on Netflix on December 23rd. Although if you're lucky enough to see it in the theatres, I would recommend going to see it if it's in a theatre near you for that week.
Yeah, that'll be interesting in terms of like because the first one, it was all shot digitally, but it was like designed to look very like shot on film. Like it looks amazing. So I hope they keep that for the new one. And also the audio mix would be interesting as well, because you ever have the difference between like something in the cinema and you have speakers all around you, and then at home when you just have the two speakers on your TV.
And one of them doesn't really work that well, so it's like one of the speakers.
Yeah, but like it's just whether they take the Netflix version and put it on the cinema, or they have the cinema version and they put it on Netflix. That's where I'd be curious to see. Yeah,
I just wanted to do like a weird promotional little plug. Movies, good. Knives Out, first one, quite good.
Really
Second
good.
one, I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm guessing. Go see it. It's going to be pretty good.
Give it a watch, lads.
I'd like it to break a few records or so on Netflix. It definitely won't. Cause
I'd like it to win a little award for itself.
I think so too. And I think Ryan Johnson, I think people might like go mad if he wins something.
That man, like, he's a good writer and he's a good director. He just... Yeah. Star Wars was... That was a sinking ship.
He joined... JJ kind of put a hole in the boat and I was like, here you go. Here's your boat.
Time for the captain to abandon the ship.
So, Shaun, we're moving on. I have a bit of a news story in regards to Marvel... A Marvel movie that could possibly be coming down the line. Now, here's the thing. This is a terrible idea, first of all.
Okay.
But it's also come from Vin Diesel himself, so mostly it's all terrible ideas coming from that man.
Right.
But, Shaun, you might have noticed that Vin Diesel's character, Groot, got his own series recently.
He did.
And everything's going well. It's called I Am Groot. It's absolutely fantastic. Oscar-winning performance. It's
have you watched
amazing. No. Everyone loves it, alright? But here's the thing. Once the series starts doing well, what's going to happen with a movie? So Vin Diesel has brought, apparently, to the Marvel execs that perhaps maybe a Planet X solo Groot movie could be in order. Shaun, what are your thoughts on this idea?
Vin Diesel wants money? Vin Diesel knows that, like, his big franchise is coming to a canonical end. And so he's like, I need to secure something for the future.
I need to secure the bag.
Yeah, so, like, I don't want to... that's a movie... Like, if we're talking about me picking and choosing things, I will not see the Groot solo movie.
And
who cares?
The thing is, Planet X is the planet that Groot comes from.
Yeah.
And so the idea is they make a movie just based on Planet X where there's a whole bunch of Groots, I think. Is that the idea?
Yeah, like he comes from... Like Groot in the comics is like royalty. Like he comes from like the royal family of Planet X.
Do you think Marvel would go that low?
Like, would they scrape that deep in the barrel? I mean, maybe.
I think that's like a Phase 7 idea, surely.
Like, that's a... I think it's too risky of a choice, not because it's a good idea that might fail, not that kind of risky. It's too risky because it would be, like, symbolic of everything that people are complaining about with Marvel, that it's just made for the sake of it, and just made for, you'll watch this.
And I think it's one of those, like, people like Groot, let's have a whole show based on Groot or a whole movie based on Groot. I don't know if that's why people like Groot.
Groot, in my opinion, like people do like Groot and people like Groot. Groot, in my opinion, is the best in Guardians 1. And then I don't care about him at all after that.
That's like, so interesting. I feel the exact same. Like, Baby Groot, I mean, is great for the memes. It's
the
great
memes
for
and the merch and the t-shirts and all that. They
sold a shit ton. But I mean, in terms of as a character, I think he's never been more interesting than he was in number 1.
Exactly, yeah. And you had this sense that he was like wise, and he knew what he was doing, and he cared, and he had a heartfelt moment in death. And then it's just like, and now he's a baby. And now he's sulking. He's a teenager. Look at him.
He's a sulky teenager. And it's like, okay, like, cool. But yeah, it's so weird because if they had like a Groot, if they hadn't killed him, although that takes a lot of emotional resonance from that movie and one of the best scenes out of it. But say that character's still around, they have the adult Groot, they probably could get away with doing a series on that character. I think people would watch it a lot more than if it's Baby Groot.
Yeah, but if they do a Planet X thing, it'll be Teen Groot on Planet X.
Yeah,
becoming a member of the royal family kind of thing. And he'll suddenly be able to talk because he's at home. That's something that
what's the likelihood of this happening?
I would put it at a 3 out of 10, personally.
And would you give Vin Diesel money?
No, never. Not in any world whatsoever.
I actively try to avoid giving him money.
Yeah, I actively don't spend money on things that he also spends money on, so I can devalue them.
I hate cars. So we're finishing off Movie Mondays this week with a bit of a deep dive because we had a pretty heavy trailer.
Good wordplay there, Connor.
Thank you very much. Because Black Panther Wakanda
because he's in the water.
I think we all got it, right? But Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, trailer number 2 dropped during the week, Shaun.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look, the first trailer was really, really good. This second one shows a whole hell of a lot more than the first one showed.
Yeah.
And so I'm really intrigued as to where you are on this, because I know you hate when trailers show more than they need to. They show a lot of Namor.
They did show a lot of Namor. Now, that's the most hype part of the trailer for me, because he has his little fucking wings on his ankles. And you said they wouldn't do that, Connor, but they did.
I said it looked dumb, which I still think it does.
No, it's he can double jump. Like, he can just step up in the air.
Did you see him double jumping in the air? That was so cool.
Wasn't it class? Yeah. But it's like, they did show a lot. They showed the full Black Panther suit in it, like the new one, and it's like it's basically confirmed to be Shuri, right? I
mean, it has to be surely. It's Shuri.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
So, like, I don't like. Part of me is like, maybe it's someone else if they're showing this much of it, but I don't think anyone's going to be at all surprised by that reveal that she becomes the new Black Panther.
And I also think people are like expecting it in terms of like, oh yeah, that's the logical next step. Yeah.
There's like, and there's precedent for it in the comics and everything like that. And the new Black Panther suit looks quite cool. I do like the look of it.
And in terms of, I mean, like, I know Namor's a bastard, but you've kind of said for years, I'd like to see Namor in the Marvel world. See what happens. The logical next step was, what I can gather from this trailer, is that there's an internal struggle because T'Challa's dead, and so Namor's like, I'm going to be the new leader of the land and of the sea, and I'm the logical next step.
Yeah, I think the idea is that, there's a power vacuum in Wakanda at the minute because T'Challa passed away. And then I think I read somewhere that the argument that Namor has is that Wakanda opening up to the world affected the underwater city. And like, they were never consulted, they were never considered, and so they're going to take power in Wakanda, and I think the thing is that they'll close it off and they can be isolated again. That might be some of it.
And I mean, I think that's like a really logical step of, like, you have these two like proud areas that are like, no, don't, like, we're in charge. This is our place. And then Namor comes in and is like, I should be in charge of everyone. Like, I'm the best. Do you not know I'm the king?
They do big up Namor a lot in this trailer. Like, and they're calling him like the sea dragon and things like that. The feather serpent god. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, they're really setting him up as a powerful antagonist in this.
I have a question, Shaun.
Yeah.
I have a question. Right, Namor. Known bastard, right? That's fair enough, right?
Yeah, bit of a prick.
We originally think he's the antagonist. It's locked in. He's the antagonist of this movie. But Namor, the actor who plays Namor, has come out and stated very clearly he's not a villain, he's an anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
Now, my brain, and I've read a few rumours as well that maybe have corroborated what I've said. By rumours, I mean other people on the internet, Shaun. Idiots like myself, that have said maybe Namor isn't the villain by the end of this movie. Perhaps he's been tricked into fighting the Wakandans, perhaps by a certain overpower, a bigger power, perhaps a puppet master, if you will, who all he wants to do is cause doom.
I have heard this. I've heard this, is all we're going to say. But I think that's okay. I think, like, Doom having a fucking hand in international affairs, that's very Doom. That's very Doom.
With people. Just just really poking bears and then just walking back and watching that, like, blow up is like pure Doom.
Yeah, and setting him up, this is the last movie in Phase 4. So that is setting up the, Secret Wars is coming up, so setting up the next big bad of the next, like, 2 or 3 phases. It's a good time to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised, and that I think would be a good way to get our first taste of Doom.
Okay, you have, like, Namor and his people, you have Shuri and her people. I want Latveria to be the most powerful of all these places, so I need to take these two out by making them fight each other, and then Latveria is going to be ultimately the best place. Yeah,
like, I'd like Doom. Yeah, it's setting up Doom and his whole thing of, like, Latveria, I want to be the best leader. If I control everything will be okay. I'm the only one who can save him. This big god complex Doom, setting up that early and getting that out of the gate. This is what he's about. He will cross any line, kind of a thing. I think that, like, that makes sense to do it, and he shouldn't be introduced in, like, the film before Secret Wars.
And so then my follow-up question to that is, Kang, we know, is going to be, like, the main big bad.
Yeah.
But then is Doom also the main big bad? You've got 2 big bads then of Phase 5.
I think Doom is going to... Here's my pitch, right?
We've got theories. Based off this trailer.
Doom is going to put an end to Kang. That's how it's going to... Kang is going to be the most powerful, the biggest badass. Like, he's going to be kicking the shit out of Ant-Man in Quantumania.
Just beating the shit out of Paul Rudd.
But he's going to be like, no one can stop Kang. This is his whole thing. They have the Kang dynasty. They have to fight him, and then Doom is going to kill him. and then Doom is like this is at like Battle World is like all the incursions are happening, and Doom kills Kang in front of everyone. Why not? And then Battle World happens.
How is Doom going to overpower Kang, though?
Dude, Doom at this point presumably will already have the power of the Beyonders in my head, which would supersede the power of Kang. Go listen to the Molecule Man Hero Zero, and I go into that a bit more detail. I'm telling you, man, it's all up there. That's how you establish Doom as like, no, he's the real threat. You know, have him defeat the other strongest guy, like a Dragon Ball villain.
Like a Dragon Ball villain. I mean, yeah, I think Doom being introduced in this is like the perfect time, because I feel like Namor. Although, what do you do with Namor then? Because like Namor's someone that nobody likes, like canonically. Do you just have him as like a? Do you have him as like the Atlantean who's like, I don't like the people who are on the land, but I'll help out if there's a big enough battle. If
like in the comics, if Atlantis is threatened, Namor will get involved. That's basically how it is. And in this one, I think Atlantis is called like Talokan in this one, because it's like more Aztec themed and stuff. I think Namor will just try and protect his city, similar to Doom, in fact. Namor also is on the quote-unquote bad side in Secret Wars in the comics. Like, he sets up a team called the Cabal.
He joins the baddies, does he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Interesting.
He like, full-on destroys other universes. Now, not as much as Doom. I think Doom destroys 96 separate universes during Secret Wars.
Just the 96. He stopped
something
the 96.
like that. It's a ridiculous number, but I think Namor, we will see where he's coming from in this. Like, he's not nice, but he's doing it for good reasons for his people. Like, he's that kind of ruler. What
did you think of the new Iron Suit?
I like it. Now it might just be a trailer thing. The inside the helmet cam looks a bit 2D. Like, things are just like layered flat on top. But they kind of nailed that effect with Tony Stark, so I assume this is just like early trailer footage.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to introducing Ironheart in this movie as well as a perfect. Like, I think that's really good. I think like Wakanda's the place with all the technology. Ironheart's here. Ironheart would like to create a brand new suit. Not quite sure how it's all going to work. And you had a theory last week that Tony Stark was going to come back at some stage.
That was in the Armor War series. I think he's going to show up. Not a series, it's a movie now. I think he's going to show up in that.
And I think Riri Williams is also going to be in that movie. And so, like, does make sense. But at the same time, I seen the suit. I was like, that's pretty cool. But also, people might get confused and be like, is Tony Stark in this? They just see like the flying suit and they're like, wait a minute.
Well, I think we're going to get a few different suits in this as well. Like, probably the first one is kind of scrappy and like tied together. And then she'll like go to Wakanda and she'll upgrade it. And then in the big fight, she'll probably have like a sleek, canonical, like iron.
They'll have like a Spider-Man Homecoming style, where like
that kind of thing.
Her suit then works into better stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, this trailer I think is really, really great. Really cool to see, like, just in terms of like the action scenes. And there's a great bit with the car, with the spear going into the bottom of the car and the car spinning it around.
Yeah, I forgot that car chase in the first Black Panther. That was really good.
So good. That was so good. And like Coogler knows what the fuck he's doing with all this stuff. Like, he's so talented.
He does understand the characters and things. Like, I really want this movie to be good, but I'm really nervous.
I think it could be. Nervous. You know what? I'm going to put in all my chips. I'm going to say Black Panther's easily going to be the strongest of this phase.
Think so, yeah.
It's going to be like the proper send-off at this phase 5. Like, this is fucking really good. And everyone's going to forget the rest of phase 4. It's like, I'm excited for phase 5 now. It's going to be really good.
But I wish there was like a bit of a break before the next property. Because the next thing is coming out in like February or something, isn't it? Like,
February is that man February? Quantumania?
Let me just very briefly
that might
here.
Be next year.
Phase 5 release dates. So we have... Okay, it looks like we might be getting a bit of a break until Is this in order? This looks like it's in order.
It's absolutely not in order.
No, it's absolutely not in order. February 17, 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yeah.
Then Guardians 3, then The Marvels, then Blade, then Captain America, New World Order, then Thunderbolts.
Blade is not going to be in that slot, can I just tell you now?
No,
if they don't start filming until February of 2023, and they have to come out for November of 2023, I don't think so.
Oh, and also fucking like Secret Invasion and all that shit's happening. Like,
yeah, it's fucked, man. There's so much.
Give me I want like a 6-month break where I can just be like, holy shit, all of the Doom just showed up at the end of Black Panther 2.
That's actually a much better way of doing it. Just have him pop up and do nothing until June of the next year.
And you have to fucking wait.
Shaun, I think that's it for this week's Movie Mondays.
It's been a week. A lot of trailers, a lot of news, a lot of rumours, Connor.
Yeah.
Would you like me to take us out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thank you to everyone over on the Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. $5 or more a month over there. You do get access to movie reviews and things like that. Any amount will allow you to join the Google Meet that we're having on the 22nd. So if you want to join in on that, do head over there. And shout outs, of course, go to Róisín, Chunky Lobes Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Technically Fine Evanson, Spooky Waffles, Bones Rattling, Ghosts Wailing, Wolves Howling, David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the Wash and It'll Be Grand Jamieson, Dominic, Anna Hjelmroos, Little Dicky, Funny Observation, McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmmysh, 2 M's, 1 Y, but not where you think, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Buster, Ed Ball, and Sean. Shout out to new patron Sean. Spells it the correct way is all I want to say there. But thanks everyone for the continued support. You're unreal. You're absolutely amazing. There are other ways to support the show then. There's a merch store link below, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's @HeroesForHirePod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Diddleman's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to just tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Connor Nolan.
I've been Sean Meehan.
I shall see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.